Hello and welcome to Galaxy Prime Time News. My name is Nenwangi Mazaka. I'll begin with the headlines. Stakeholders and members of the House Representatives Committee have differed on a bill to regulate corporate social responsibility in Nigeria and other related matters. The management of Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NEL Fund) has announced a 14-day postponement of the application process for student loans from state-owned institutions. On the foreign scene, an Israeli airstrike kills 10 members of Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh's family in northern Gaza Shati refugee camp. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. To stay with us. And now the news in full. Stakeholders and members of the House Representatives Committee on Corporate Social Responsibility have differed on a bill for an act to regulate corporate social responsibility in Nigeria and other related matters. The divergent views came up during a public hearing on the bill on Tuesday in Abuja. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Lidan Orogbu, expressed displeasure over the absence of telecom giants such as MTN and Airtel, despite the enabling environment given them by government to operate.
After through extensive consultations with stakeholders, it seeks to establish a clear definition of CSR. This will provide a common understanding of what constitutes responsible business conduct in the Nigerian context.
Stakeholders such as the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian Communication Commission, who held the hearing, supported the bill.
For non-compliance with CSR to be punishable by imprisonment. We believe this penalty is too stringent. More so, this raises concerns regarding its compatibility with constitutional rights and freedoms, particularly those safeguarding property and economic liberties of citizens.
It will make the Nigerian market less competitive, unlike what is obtainable in countries like South Africa and Egypt. CSR is about the integration of socio-environmental concerns by businesses into their operations and should enhance socially responsible and sustainable business practices. The bill may not encourage any sustainable social programs by the corporations. And if I may give one other example with the telecom industry, the service providers or the people that are providing businesses in that sector are complaining about more than 38 tax heads.
Earlier, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, who was represented by the House Majority Leader, Honorable Julius Ihunvere, spelled out the essence of the proposed amendment to the bill, while calling on all stakeholders to make useful contributions to the bill.
Legal status and guidelines to corporate social responsibility for better coordination and regulation. The success of this legislative process is dependent on your response and contribution to this public hearing. Public hearing is part of our legislative process to engage the citizens in lawmaking, especially because the proposed law has impacts to make on the people.
The bill, when passed, will make corporate bodies responsible to providing social amenities for communities where they operate. A senior custom officer, Essian Etob Andrew, a deputy controller of finance administration and technical service, has died while responding to questions at a hearing organized by House Committee on Public Account Committee. The incident took place during the engagement, which occurred around Tuesday afternoon after the official developed sudden health complications. Assembly Clinic, he unfortunately passed away. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Customs Service Area 2 Command on Near River State says it has generated a total revenue of over 200 billion naira as at the end of May 2024. The Customs Area Controller Area 2 Command Mohammed Babandede, who assumed office as the Area Controller of the command in April, disclosed this at a press briefing at the command's headquarters in Onne, noting that the amount represents 50.4% of the service initial target for the year. On the command's success in the area of anti-smuggling activities, he revealed that 7 containers, including one bearing used electronics, were intercepted through intelligence.
Of May 2024, the command had generated a total revenue of 249,752,268,298 naira.28 kobo, which translates to 50.4% of the initial target and 40.3% of the current annual target. These items on display are as follows: 4 by 20 feet containers laden with bales of fabrics and lace, total 96 jumbo size with a duty paid value of 911,520,011 naira. Also seized, we have on display a seized container of used electronics which has turned to e-waste, as you are aware of the environmental implication.
The federal government has emphasized the importance of education in eradicating poverty and ensuring access to quality education for all Nigerians irrespective of age, gender and geopolitical location. The Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Sununu, made a disclosure in Abuja on Tuesday while speaking at the opening session of a stakeholders meeting on achieving youth and adult literacy, a critical pillar for the roadmap of the Nigerian education sector 2024 to 2027. Correspondent Hulu Joe reports that the minister stressed the need for a holistic approach to improving the quality of knowledge and certificates given to adults and non-formal schools, incorporating skills acquisition and awareness campaign to educate parents on the importance of education.
Started the assessment of impact. The roadmap is a product of 8-point agenda of Mr. President, national policy on education, the gap we identified when we came to the ministry, and the input from major stakeholders. And that we have already commenced it because we have already submitted a report, first quarter report, and that quarter report also reflects on what we have done this year. On the after-school children, we have convinced, we have the data on us, that we have so far returned over 2 million children back to school.
The Executive Secretary of NE, the critical role of literacy in building a sustainable future. The Chairman of the House Committee on Alternative Education, Honorable Ibrahim Mustafa, commended the President's political will to change the literacy narrative and expressed the National Assembly's commitment to achieving an educated society.
The population of Nigeria is increasing, and because of this increasing population of the country, that's why the literacy is also increasing. Other factors that most private individuals, organizations are not supporting government enough. And with the essence of this meeting, we are calling on all stakeholders, international partners to support government. Government alone cannot fund education.
However, we are faced with the daunting challenges of low literacy and illiteracy rate among our children, youth and adults, and the paucity of funds to tackle the menace. Together between the above, Nigeria is estimated to have about 15 million out-of-school children. In the same vein, only 25% of the children in the same age group are proficient in reading and numeracy, while 35 million children cannot read or write.
You're still on to Galaxy Primetime News, and coming up next. The Federal High Court in Lagos struck out the charge against celebrity bartender Pascal Okechukwu popularly known as Cubana chief priest, over alleged abuse of Naira. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. Do stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comment. The Management of Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFUN, has announced a 14-day postponement of the application process for student loans from state-owned tertiary institutions due to low data submissions. NELFUN's head of media and public relations, Nasir Aitogo, said the decision was necessitated by the failure of several state-owned institutions to upload the required student data and fees information to the NELFUN student verification system. According to him, only a limited number of state-owned institutions had successfully completed the data submission. These include 20 state universities out of 48, 12 state colleges out of 54, and 2 state polytechnics out of 49. While NELFUN acknowledged the effort of the state-owned institutions, too added that the failure to submit data from the remaining state institutions poses significant challenges towards ensuring a seamless and accurate verification process for student loan applicants. The body added that the extension will provide additional time for state institutions to comply with the data submission requirement and ensure their students can benefit from the federal government student loan scheme. The National Association of Nigerian Colleges of Education has commended President Bola Tinubu for revitalizing the education sector, which has led to significant improvement in the sector for over the past 1 year. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday, the national president of the association, Egunjobi Oluwaseun, commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his effort in enhancing education, particularly the introduction of the student loan program. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reports that Egunjobi added that the initiative is aimed at providing access to education for underprivileged students across the country. The body, however, charged the government to remain focused and ensure proper implementation of its policies of the development of the education sector. Additionally, the body commended the launching of student land projects, noting that the initiative promotes financial inclusion and empowers young individuals.
Our sincere commendation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for towing the path of honor by laying good foundation geared toward improving the Nigerian state of education within his 1 year in office as the head of the country's government, especially the introduction of the student loan, which will in turn give room for the children of downtrodden to access education.
An Ikeja sexual offences and domestic violence has sentenced a security guard, Xavier Udo, to life imprisonment for sexually assaulting a 5-year-old minor with her name withheld in a church premises. Justice Ramanushode sentenced Udo to lifetime jail on the sole charge of sexual assault by penetration preferred against him by the Lagos State government. Oshodi, in his judgment, held that the prosecution had been able to prove the charge against Udo beyond reasonable doubt. He said the court national statement, the testimony of the survivor, her mother, the investigative police officer, and the medical evidence. According to him, the crime committed by the convict was a grave one, as it involved the sexual exploitation of a vulnerable child. Community leaders and law enforcement agents drawn from Nigeria Police Force, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Western Nigeria Security Network Agency, codenamed Operation Amotekun, has resolved that perpetrators of female genital mutilation in communities in Osun State will be persecuted henceforth. This was the thrust of a consensus building with law enforcement agencies and community leaders to sensitize them on their roles in reporting and prosecuting perpetrators of the harmful practice. During the event held at Ido Osun Town Hall, the law enforcement agents were enlightened on violence against persons prohibition law, which has penalties for FGM offenders.
The consensus building that was organized at Egbedore local government area today was organized for the community leaders and law enforcement agents. This is just to create synergy between them, enlightening them on the laws and punishments, the penalties that are available for perpetrators of female genital mutilation. This is like the third stage of the project, because we started with advocacy, followed by dialogue, and here we are with the consensus building just for the community leaders and law enforcement agents.
The female genital mutilation is a practice that is archaic, unhealthy, and totally unacceptable. And at this time, we must find a way to sustainably end the practice. And we must appreciate the effort of the UNFPA in finding a lasting solution to the scourge of cutting our daughters.
The Federal High Court in Lagos on Tuesday struck out a charge against celebrity bartender Pascal Okechukwu, popularly known as Cubano Chief Priest, over alleged abuse of the Naira. Justice Kainde Ogundare struck out the charge following the adoption of terms of settlement between parties to the suit. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had on April 17 arraigned Okechukwu on a 3-count charge of allegedly spraying and tampering with the Naira notes during a social event at Echo Hotel in Lagos. He had pleaded not guilty to the charge and was granted bail in the sum of 10 million Naira. At the last adjourned date on May 2nd, the defense counsel, Chikosulu Ojukwu-san, informed the court. Ojukwu noted that the parties were exploring settlement and had applied that the matter be settled in pursuant to the provisions of Section 14, subsection 2 of the EFCC Act. Following the position, he applied for a withdrawal of a preliminary objection filed by defense, and since there was no objection from the prosecution, the court granted same. The court consequently adjourned the case until June 5th for a report of settlement. Some non-governmental organization has urged the Ekiti State government to include persons with disabilities in the State Gender-Based Violence Management Committee. This call was made in Ado Ekiti by the facilitator Funsho Olajide during a one-day public dialogue on disability inclusive access to justice against GBV in Ekiti State. Speaking during the meeting, Olajide said inclusion of PWDs in the committee will enable them, especially women and girls, to have a sense of belonging for an effective disability inclusive GBV response. He noted that there is an increasing rate of gender-based violence against women and girls with disabilities in Ekiti State. In her speech, the special advisor to the state government on special education and social inclusion said Ekiti State government is working assiduously towards ensuring that the rights of PWDs in Ekiti are not tampered with. She joined them to report any case of GBV to the appropriate quarters and not crawl back with shame into their shell.
See the Ekiti State Disability Law 2020 as a law that did not really specify provisions for GBV sanctions. Okay? Then lack of adequate personnel to handle issues of GBV in the various government bodies that have connections with people with disabilities. People with disability encounter unique obstacles while reporting gender-based violence issues, such as communication difficulties, especially when confidentiality in reporting gender-based violence issue is concerned.
Then accessibility. Women with disability can ensure that GBV services and programs are accessible and inclusive, reducing barriers to support and justice.
Addressing gender-based violence among people with disabilities requires a comprehensive and inclusive approach that accounts for their unique circumstances and challenges. This entails that not only implementing effective reporting and response mechanisms, but also working to remove the societal barriers that perpetuate this form of violence.
Bayelsa government promises good working relationship with media organizations. The Bayelsa state government has pledged to establish stronger working relationships between media organizations in the state to ensure the smooth dissemination of information. The new State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Honorable Ebowu Koko Obiye, made this known on Tuesday when she assumed office days after her swearing in by the state governor Doi Diri. She assured Bayelsans of improvement in information dissemination and in the discharge of her duties.
I want to assure Bayelsans that there will be an improvement in the way information media strategies have been handled in the past. We will improve on it. If you observe, we decided to invite all the GM or acting GM of the media houses that are overseen by this ministry, because I also would like to discuss with them. We want to know their challenges so that we can strategize on how we'll move forward. And the way we'll move forward definitely will benefit Bayelsans.
The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, has been advised to work towards attaining 100% and improve sanitation by 2030. Leaders of human rights group Society for Open Governance and Transparency made the appeal while speaking with journalists on the activities of ministry, while acknowledging the commitment of the minister to the water sector, which is and encourage collaboration for more access to water supply across the country. Comrade Igwe Umanta and Danielson Momo, while addressing journalists, emphasized the need for approach which will foster efficient management and development of water sector. The group emphasized the need for the construction of more water schemes and damage across Nigeria in order to make water accessible to Nigerians. Some primary schools in the FCT say they have evolved precautionary measures to avoid the outbreak of cholera in their schools. On Tuesday, water for the pupils and others. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reported a total of 1,141 suspected cases of cholera, with 65 confirmed cases. The center also reported 30 deaths across 96 local government areas in 30 states from January 1st to June 11. The NCDC listed 10 states that account for 90% of the cholera burden in the country, to include Bayelsa, Zamfara, Abia, Cross River, Bauchi, Delta, Katsina, Imo, Nasarawa and Lagos. The center explained that cholera is a food and waterborne disease caused by fibrocholerae ingested through contaminated water and food. Some residents in Ado-Karo local government area of Nasarawa State have sought improved services from the government at the community health center. Report has it that while some of the residents commended the healthcare workers at the health center for the continued effort, others implored them to do better. One of the residents, Ngozun Dukwe, a lawyer in the community, said that basic amenities were needed in the health center and should be provided by the government to ensure effective service delivery. Also, Albert Udopong, a resident, described the health center as a place that needed urgent attention from the federal government. Udopong, a youth corps, said more funding should be put in place for healthcare services. Another resident, Abdulaziz Ibrahim, an electrician, noted that although the health center was lagging behind in some areas, but there are also improvements. The number of electricity consumers rose by 210,000 from 12.12 million in the fourth quarter of 2023 to 12.33 million in the first quarter of 2024. The National Bureau of Statistics stated in its electricity report for the first quarter of 2024 released on Tuesday in Abuja that the increase was by 1.78%. The review focuses on energy billed, revenue generated, and customers by DISCOs under the reviewed period. It stated that on a year-on-year basis, the number of electricity customers increased by 9.47% by first quarter 2024 from 11.27 million reported in first quarter 2023. It said in first quarter 2024, the number of metered customers stood at 5.91 million compared with the 5.61 million recorded in fourth quarter 2023. This indicated a 5.38% increase. Similarly, estimated electricity customers stood at 6.43 million in first quarter 2024, showing an increase of 10.22% over the 5.83 million recorded in fourth quarter 2023. The NBS also said that the electricity distribution companies collected 291.62 billion naira in revenue in first quarter 2024 compared with the 294.95 billion they collected in fourth quarter 2023. Nigeria's public debt stock increased from 97.34 trillion in the fourth quarter of 2023 to 121.67 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2024. The National Bureau of Statistics said these on Tuesday in its Nigerian domestic and foreign debt report from first quarter 2024 released in Abuja. Report said Nigeria's public debt stock, which included external and domestic debt, grew by 24.99% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. It said that external debt stood at 56.02 trillion naira in first quarter 2024, while domestic debt was 65.65 trillion naira. In a breakdown by state, the Bureau said that Lagos State recorded the highest domestic debt of 929.41 billion in first quarter 2024, followed by Delta with 334.90 billion. The report showed Jigawa records the lowest domestic debt of 2.07 billion, followed by Ondo at 16.740 billion. And now we'll move over to the foreign desk for more news. Hello and welcome to Foreign News. An Israeli airstrike has killed 10 members of Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh's family in northern Gaza's Shati refugee camp, according to the Palestinian group and the Enclave Civil Defense Agency. Confirming the attack on the Haniyeh family and the number of the dead, Hamas said that it held the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden responsible for the continuation of the war of extermination against the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip. It said the United States was continuing to give Israel political and military cover and time to accomplish the task of destruction and extermination in the Strip. Mahmoud Basal, a spokesman for the Civil Defense Agency, told newsmen that the Tuesday morning attack targeted the Haniyeh family home in Shati. The Israeli military said 2 buildings were targeted overnight in Shati and Daraj Tufa, claiming that fighters who had been involved in the October 7 attack on Israel ahead of the current conflict were hiding inside. A statement posted on social media did not mention striking the Haniyeh family home. In April, an Israeli airstrike in central Gaza killed 3 sons and 4 grandchildren of Haniyeh, with the military accusing them of terrorist activities. Israel's Supreme Court has ruled unanimously that the military must begin drafting ultra-Orthodox men for military service. The ruling announced on Tuesday seeks to overturn a long-standing practice under which Jewish seminary students are exempt from conscription. The decision threatens to help destabilize the government, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition reliant on religiously conservative parties that oppose the move. The court said that in the absence of a law that distinguishes between Jewish seminary students and other draftees, Israel's compulsory military service system applies to ultra-Orthodox men like any other citizen. Under long-standing agreement, ultra-Orthodox men have been exempt from the draft. However, the court found that the state was carrying out invalid selective enforcement that represents a serious violation of the rule of law and the principle according to which all individuals are equal before the law. the ruling read. The exemption of ultra-Orthodox men have long been a source of anger among the secular public. That divide was widened during the 8-month-old war in Gaza. The military has called up tens of thousands of soldiers and says it needs all the manpower it can get. The European Court of Human Rights has found Russia guilty of systematic violations of human rights in Ukraine's occupied Crimean Peninsula. The verdict on Tuesday in the first interstate case brought by Ukraine against Russia over Crimea said that the rights breaches started in February 2014 when Moscow occupied and annexed the peninsula included violations of rights to life, inhuman or degrading treatment, the prohibition of freedom of religion and freedom of expression, among others. The court, based in Strasbourg, France, said in its anonymous judgment that there was sufficient evidence corroborated by a range of witness testimony and reports from non-governmental organizations to find Russia guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The court ordered Russia to take measures as soon as possible for the safe return of the relevant prisoners transferred from Crimea to penal facilities located in the territory of the Russian Federation. The impact of the decision is likely to be limited as Russia refuses to recognize the judgment of the court. The country was expelled from the Council of Europe in the wake of Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. As a result, it is no longer a member of the European Convention on Human Rights, which the court in Strasbourg enforces. And still on foreign news, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been freed from prison in the United Kingdom and is expected to travel home to Australia after he agreed to plead guilty to a single charge of breaching the espionage law in the United States. Assange, 52, will plead guilty to one count of conspiracy to obtain and disclose classified U.S. national defense documents, according to a filing in the U.S. District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands. He was freed from the UK's high-security Belmarsh prison on Monday and taken to the airport from where he flew out of the country. Assange will appear at a court in Saipan, a U.S. Pacific territory, at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, where he'll be sentenced to 62 months of the time already served. A video posted on X by WikiLeaks showed Assange dressed in a blue shirt and jeans, signing a document before boarding a private jet. He will return to Australia after the hearing, the WikiLeaks statement added, referring to the hearing in Saipan. The plane carrying Assange landed in Bangkok on Tuesday to refuel before flying the WikiLeaks founder to the U.S. territory. China's premier has called for countries to oppose decoupling as economic tensions simmer between Beijing and the European Union ahead of the imposition of new tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. Friction between the West and the world's second-largest economy has intensified in recent years as geopolitics in the northeastern Chinese city of Dalian. The premier also called on parties to maintain the stability and smooth operation of industrial and supply chains, promote the liberalization and facilitation of trade and investment, guide and promote healthy global development, and gather powerful efforts for world economic growth. Worries about the disengagement between China and major economies in the West have rubbled for years as they clash over a range of issues including trade and technology. Last month, the United States hiked tariffs on $18 billion worth of imports from the country, targeting strategic sectors like electric vehicles, batteries, and critical minerals, a move Beijing warned would severely affect on its EVs by July 4th, citing concerns over unfair competition caused by heavy state subsidies. The duties will be provisional until November, when they are set to come into full effect. And finally, on foreign news, for Zakia Wali, Eid will never be joyous again. Instead, she says, the Muslim festival will serve as a heroic reminder of how her elder brother Mohammed Farid was lynched in the town they have called home since they were born there 30 years ago. Farid, who made tandoori rotas, flatbreads cooked in giant clay ovens at local eateries, was on his way back home a day after Eid when he was surrounded by a mob of Hindu hardliners. More than a dozen men, armed with wooden sticks and iron rods, dragged the 35-year-old Farid through the street and beat him to death, and bystanders caught the horror on their phone cameras. Aligarh, a city of 1.2 million people, is in Uttar Pradesh, India's largest state, which is ruled by the Hindu majoritarian Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, under whose decade long rule attacks on Muslims have skyrocketed. On June June 4th after the BJP lost its national majority in stunning results from India mammoth national election. Opposition parties portrayed the outcome as a victory for the country's democratic and secular traditions. Many analysts suggest that the result and Modi's dependence on coalition partners in government would enforce moderation within the Hindu hardline groups that have long inhabited the fringes of Rashtriya Sangh, the BJP ideological mentor organization. And that's all we have on the foreign news. And now we'll move on to entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Rose Blossom Mwe. Here are the stories on News Today.
The D-Day for Davido and Chiyoma's wedding is here, and there's a lot of excitement in the air. Celebrity barman Cubano Chief Priest has issued a public service announcement to influencers not to attend Davido's wedding. In the video, he advised people not to come to Davido's wedding venue without an invite because they'll be sent away. Zeroing in on social media influencers, stating that their millions of followers wouldn't help them get a free pass into the venue. Davido's upcoming wedding has been a hot topic on the internet over the past week. Many celebrities have come out to felicitate with the intending couple. His wedding invite has been equivalent to gold because a lot of people, including celebrities who were not invited, have expressed their desire to get one. When skit maker OGB got his invite, however, he openly declared that he would sell his invite for Davido's wedding for 10 million naira. Footballer Victor Osimhen also got an invite, and in the celebratory video, controversial social media activist Very Dark Man could be seen in the background, which led to speculations that he was also invited. Nigerian comedian Anita Afoke Asoha, best known as Real Warri Pikin, appears to have spoken the minds of many regarding Afrobeat star Davido and his wife Chiyoma's wedding. It's no longer news that the couple will be tying the knots traditionally today, June 25th, as videos and moments from their just concluded bridal shower trends online. Real Warri Pikin revealed that she regrettably turned down Davido's wedding invitation when he called her. She said she's in Abuja and currently working on her show scheduled for June 28. In a detailed video, Warri Pikin directed her message to all the guests and media houses that will be present at the highly anticipated wedding ceremony about things to do so that she and millions of Nigerians who won't be attending could enjoy the event on social media. The actress complained about camera angles from what she experienced during the bridal shower last night. She advised all cameramen and videographers to capture all angles. She tackled the importance of using the widely known hashtag for the event, Chivido 2024. According to her, this would enable Nigerians to follow up on the wedding activities without jumping from blog to blog. Warri Pikin also called out Davido's aide, Israel DMW, and argued that she wasn't feeling his energy, that she needs him to buckle up on his duties. The media host further appreciated the music executive and Davido's wife manager Ubi Franklin for his work and dedication to updating netizens on the wedding preliminaries. Nollywood actress Eriate Esse recently came under fire on the internet when a video of her doing her pregnancy photo shoot surfaced. A lot of netizens seem to have an inside view of her life as they accused her of getting pregnant for a married man and ruining his marriage. In her post, Eriate Esse revealed her plans from 2022, among which was intention to get pregnant in 2023 with or without a husband. She added that she's very intentional about her life and she's not worried about the opinion of strangers because it don't feed her. Eriate Esse also added that so long as she is happy and making money, that's all that matters. On the matter of the married love allegations, she cleared the air by saying that she did not take anyone's husband and that people should stop spreading such rumors. She also added that she is not a husband snatcher and that if anyone has evidence that she got pregnant for a married man, they should come out with proof. Businesswoman and mother of two, Mabel Mekun, has melted hearts as she unites with her strange husband, Ayo Mekun, to celebrate their daughter, Michelle Mekun's graduation. Over the weekend, Ayo shared lovely moments from his daughter's graduation ceremony and the numerous awards she bagged from the event. He shared a video that captured the beautiful family time between himself and his wife. Alongside his wife, they cheered their daughter and wished for more success. In the same manner, Mabel Mekun shared their photos from the event with a caption that shows how they are proud of their daughter's achievement. The Nollywood fame Muri & Co went from being on the 6th to the 2nd spot of the Nigerian box office, grossing a total of 50.1 million naira, according to data published on Saturday by the Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria. Muri & Co follows the story of a thief named Muri who steals a car and discovers later that the child is in the car. Despite the 10 million naira bounty on his head and also trying to evade the police for kidnapping the child, he and youngster grew closer. With a weekly total of 41.5 million naira, the Nollywood movie Muri & Co has surpassed Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, the top-grossing Nollywood film at the box office for 3 weeks in a row. Currently, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti is ranked number 4 after raking in 15 million naira. During the period, it has grossed a total of 156.5 million naira. American singer Chris Brown penned a heartfelt appreciation to Afrobeat singer Ayra Starr after they worked together during his 11/11 tour. It should be noted that Ayra Starr delivered an incredible performance during Chris Brown's tour, mesmerizing fans with renditions of her popular songs. Taking to a Snapchat, Chris Brown asserted that it was amazing working with Ayra Starr, sending love to her and her team while sharing a video of them sharing a passionate hug and chatting backstage. Actress and producer Funke Akindele has addressed the issue of sustaining friendship and why she is no longer close to Eniola Badmus. In an interview, the mother of two discussed her relationships with colleagues such as Eniola Badmus and others. When asked how she has managed friendship and relationships with her growing fame, Funke Akindele responded that she has never had significant friends other than her brothers. She also stated that contrary to popular assumption, when she is not working, she enjoys remaining indoors with her children and family, having fun and watching movies. When asked about Eniola Badmus, specifically with whom she used to be very close, Funke Akindele gave an update on the relationship, saying that Eniola Badmus makes her laugh. She noted that she loved to chill with her, but they are so busy with life doing their thing. She made it known that she is still cordial with her and everybody.
And that'll be all on entertainment news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Riz Blossom. Bye for now.
Now for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 018-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. And that's all we have on Galaxy Primetime News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name is Nenwarangi Mazaka. Goodbye.